did want to talk that one of the best stories. I'm a sucker for the underdog story, and I'm a sucker for just people that have to work hard and have a long journey for what they want to accomplish in their goals. And so one of my favorite players growing up was Kurt Warner in the NFL, and he was one of the biggest long shots, and he's a Hall of Famer now. That they just made a movie about him, and I know David, you saw the movie last night, but I never asked you what you thought of it. So, was it accurate? Did they tell the story right? How what did you think of it?
Well, full spoilers ahead. So if anyone hasn't seen it, I apologize. But from what I have read and watched about the life of Kurt Warner, it was pretty accurate. They almost used word for word what they said in certain moments, which I thought was pretty cool. Another thing, and I know this really caught my eye, is they really portrayed NFL Hall of Famers like left, right, and center. They portrayed Marshall Faulk, Brett Favre, Isaac Bruce, Ray Lewis. And it was pretty cool to see all of them actually, see them have a uniform with Green Bay number 4 in practice when Kurt Warner was trying out for the Packers, and Coach Steve Mariucci, who was one of the more prominent NFL coaches, tell him you're cut, stuff like that. They didn't spare any expense, and it was overall a really good movie. They did not shy away from the Christian side of it because Kurt Warner really found his faith strengthened by finding his wife Brenda in the film, whose husband had left her with 2 kids, and one of them had a serious brain deficiency because her previous husband dropped him on his head accidentally. So he was legally blind, he had brain defects and such, and really good, really emotional. Like they really, pulled at the heartstrings several different times. But yeah, it was a great movie. And then what I thought was really good, at the end, they showed so much real footage. They did a great way of, they would be in the film, and the actor Zachary Levi, who plays Kurt Warner, would take the snap and drop back, and then it would cut to real footage of that Rams game with Kurt Warner throwing it to like Isaac Bruce down the sideline or something like that. It was really, yeah, it was something neat. And then I gotta say, the intro of it, if you're a football fan and you've watched a lot of old football stuff, you'll love the intro of it. It starts with 7-year-old or 8-year-old Kurt Warner watching, I think it's Super Bowl 19 with Joe Montana and the 49ers against Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And it was showing him like trying to imitate Joe Montana, and he got all the newspaper clippings and Sports Illustrated pages with Joe Montana on it. And it was really cool to see them, pay respect to the greats of the NFL while telling a wonderful story. And like I said, they weren't afraid to, be openly Christian. Like he was a man of God. He thanked God every step of the way. And one point my wife made is that they showed that not everyone who's Christian always is happy with how life goes. Because at one point, Kurt is talking to Brenda in the film, and he's like, why would God give me a dream that I can't accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really good point, because most people that I have spoken to who are not Christian, they will say, oh, well, you guys think you're going to heaven, everything's God's will, so why do you get upset at life? That doesn't make a difference. We still get disappointed when things don't work out, or if we work really hard and we fail, or we have a rough day at work, or something happens. I have had several times in my life where I'm like, well, why, God, is this happening? We're not immune to that just because we believe that he is everything and that we will one day be eternally saved by him. So again, really good movie. Yeah, just
Did it only show him with the Rams, or was it his whole career?
It showed him getting to the Rams, and then the ending sequence was his Super Bowl winning season with the Rams.
Okay.
That was his. So it started out him as a kid, then it jumped to him at Northern Iowa, where he played 5 years, and then he bounced around, got a arena football league, and played amazing there, and then he got a tryout from the Rams, and Dick Vermeil was the coach there. He came back after 15 years out of the league.
Right.
So the Rams brought him back, and he hired Mike Martz, who was in the NFL one of the best offensive coordinators of his time. He hated Kurt Warner, and they explained that in the movie. He hated Kurt Warner. And they needed a quarterback, and conveniently, the preseason, Trent Green, their all-star Pro Bowl top quarterback, he breaks his arm or his shoulder on the first play of the preseason. So then Kurt Warner was thrust into the spotlight. And it was, again, really good movie. It wasn't afraid to show the bad sides and really the hard times of people, but it also, I think, the message of determination and also commitment, because they make a point to point out that Kurt Warner's father left when times got hard. He left Kurt's mother and his younger brother. And then Kurt Warner started following the same path. And he even did it in football where he would not, now quarterback, you're supposed to stay in the pocket and make the throw. He would run as soon as someone would get close to him. He learned through football and in life, when things get hard, you don't leave. You stay through the fight. And again, really good moral messages in this movie. And it was totally appropriate for kids. There was not one thing in language, not one thing inappropriate. Really all around a good movie, good family movie.